We are not daily driven exotics, okay? We don't have that kind of budget yet. It's daily pushed. Daily pushed exotics. Daily pushed exotics is a new name of our channel. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's gonna be a great day. I'm not the least bit hungover, but we're gonna make fun out of it. Yeah, anyways, so today we're gonna get the alignment done on the Aston Martin, as well as figure out the runnability, and hopefully today I'm gonna be driving this car. Also, we're gonna push this 1981 Thoroughbred out of the shop. My friend Scott came from Australia to work on it for the last 3 weeks. He came very, very close to getting it running, but not completely running. But you know what? I admire him for someone to put that amount of work in. He basically did this car from scratch, wiring, engine, all of it in 3 weeks by himself. It was an amazing feat. It was like watching an episode of Overhaul It. We're gonna get this out of the shop. We're gonna get our high boy in and get working on that. Hopefully we'll have that done in just 3 weeks is our goal. Thanks for staying tuned. Like, share, and subscribe. Well, I mean, I'm sorry you can't operate the airport parking. It's a loop. It's always been like that.
No, you just go right to the airport and then make a left at the parking garage.
No.
And then you go up or lower. You can't even go down to, how do you go to Rivals?
You go to the left. Steve,
hey, sir.
Nice shirt.
I know. I think I'm going to just save it for Saturday, so it's so clean. There's going to be so much like closed caption on what he's saying, because I'm sure none of that translated at all. It's just like unintelligible.
Anyway, Steve, for today, what I'd like to do, Antonio just made a mess out of the alignment on this car. He showed me his alignment skills. But what he did notice is on the driver's side, shush, Paul, on the driver's side rear, Paul, you can't be making noise while we're filming. On the driver's side rear, there is a dog bone piece of the suspension that was bent that I got. When we put that on and align it, I'd like to do that, and then I'd like to get to the runnability issues.
Okay.
About whatever we were having the other day. I don't know if it's caused by low voltage in the battery or what.
Okay.
I know Scott didn't make his goal of getting it running and driving, but he did. For one guy to do that much in 3 weeks is impressive.
Yeah, just a before picture of where this was as it was being inflated and pushed in is pretty good. This is very substantial.
Yeah, he did an amazing job. And Scott doesn't know it yet, but when this gets back to Australia, we will have completed it. It will be running and driving for him. He was very frustrated when he left because it kind of ran, but the carburetor was bad and we ran out of time. But I think we're gonna pitch in and make it happen for him.
Make me one. You didn't make that?
I have to make it sure. How's it going, Steve?
It's going.
We're just moving cars.
Kind of see a little wiggle right here. That'll definitely affect the way that the alignment reads, and it'll definitely affect overall handling and tire wear. This is actually the cam adjustment. This is a special bolt. Basically, this here is like your cam, and what this does is it's going to actually sit in this bracket here where there's kind of a cutout, and it's going to basically roll and push against this metal housing, and that's going to move this in and out, and that's going to give us our adjustment. Sure, we could probably have gotten this from Ford for like $5. I'm sure it probably cost like 85 bucks. So anytime you put on suspension parts on the back of any vehicle that has a lot of weight in the rear, like the transmission in the rear, a good idea is to actually, especially if there are parts that adjust the alignment, is to actually put them on, get them slightly loose, put the wheel back on, jounce the suspension to get a settling, then put it under load and then tighten it, and then go back and align it, because you want everything to kind of line up. And what happens is if you just put parts on and stuff's been loose, you can get very strange stacked tolerances. I've seen this on like an M4 in the back. It can be a nightmare to align because this was off, and so this is this way, and this part is this way, and that part is that way, and you will never get it to come in. So we're gonna loosen these parts, jounce the suspension, then tighten it under load, and then align it. No, that's the old one.
Yeah, it is a little, that's, that is not a straight line. That is, it's like a curve in your manhood. That's, or a banana, curve in a banana. Oh, and a curve that way too. Well, you know, help with drifting. Help us get that ass end out there. You know, I was thinking we should lower this and stance it just like a Miata, you know, straight in, just on the very edge of the tires. Can you do that for me?
No, I don't think you want to do that. They're not going to let you in to Redmond Town Center with that.
They're not going to let me into Cars and Coffee? Which, by the way, we are going to do this summer. I've never done a car show. I don't like car shows because I got judged harshly on my Corvette years ago. But I think this summer, when the first one comes, you and I and Antonio should take, on a Saturday, should take this, my SL63 and the Maserati, and flex a little bit. Of course, the guys down there have Ferraris and Lambos and stuff that I'll never be able to obtain, but I'm gonna keep shooting for that goal because, you know, that's how it goes.
Oh yeah, that's nice right there.
So our oil leak, we fixed our oil leak off camera. This corner of the valve cover would be on the passenger rear, and the fire hydrant, I guess when it tore through the firewall and the floorboard, took off the corner of the valve cover, which is very fortunate because the cylinder heads are aluminum. I mean, if it had been a ½ inch this direction down, that would have taken out the cylinder head, and that would have really hurt financially. So glad it was just a cover. It was not expensive. They had it in stock at the dealer, so it was only like 160 bucks, surprisingly. And when I opened the package, it was wrapped and it said Ford. So probably could have got it for a Taurus or something.
I'm going to tighten this one. I don't need this one loose. And then I'm going to put the wheel on and do my jounce. And then we will begin the alignments. That's what we're looking for, is some looseness, jounce, and a rebound the suspension.
Julie won't be making any more soups for you.
No soup for you.
No soup for you.
Oh, hey, where'd you find him?
Right here.
That's disgusting, and you're playing with it. That's so gross. Oh.
I'm just going to gingerly make this match, which is going to basically pull them in. The toe's going to be in. This one's really in. We may have to jounce it some more, get it to do just what we want it to do, but...
Shut the door, we don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Luis from next door this summer. I'm gonna have him replace all of the electrical outlets in here. Yeah, I make everybody pay every time, and they filed bankruptcy. So, but
Do we own 4 trucks now?
well, they were parking their trucks in the lot behind us. They were paying for storage. Well, I had keys to all of them. So when they filed bankruptcy, I moved them in our lot.
Attaboy.
So the first finance company called, and I charge $175 a day for storage.
Yep.
But it's a local credit union, and they were small. And I've had these trucks 5 months. I negotiated down to lower. We just came out to a total amount of $3,000.
Okay.
So that covers what I was owed for repairs and maintenance on that truck. The other 3 we'll just have to kind of see. I can't do anything. He's in bankruptcy. I mean, I can't even call the guy and say, hey, give me my goddamn money. Because as a small business, though, it's just the dangers I take and why I don't give anybody credit.
Strange times. Strange times.
I've struggled with taxes and stuff, and you know, obviously people stealing from me. But you know, I've always persevered. I've always just tightened my belt and gone at it, and and made it work.
We're gonna have some fun with this one. Not the kind of fun I want to have though. Hot bologna. That's pretty serious. And once again, this is like what I mean evident by like stack tolerance is very different. When you've had to take off the front cradle that holds the engine and the rear, and you're applying that back to the vehicle, there's always going to be an area of tolerance that can happen with several different parts being changed. We have here a 101.7 and a 101.6. Now, that doesn't seem like a big deal. You know, we're talking about 1/10 of an inch, you know, a 15th of an inch at the most. But what's going to happen is the alignment specs that we're trying to achieve, we're not going to be able to quite get there. And I think what's going to end up happening is that we're probably going to end up getting as close as we can and then driving the vehicle. And this is going to create even more settling in the transmission, in the engine, in the frame, in the cradle. And then we'll probably be able to come back and true it up some more. It's going to be like a multi-step process.
Oh my, is that us right now?
Yes.
Oh goodness, how do we? Wow.
So the only thing that we're really going to be able to do with something like that is to get it as close as we possibly can and then drive the vehicle. And this is going to help to settle the suspension even more. And then we're going to have to bring it in and try it again. If that doesn't work, we'll be loosening up subframe bolts and trying to shift that over and shift different parts to kind of get the vehicle true. But what we can do that's the easiest is a basic alignment, drive it, not a lot, but just enough to, you know, get full lock turns, forward, back, and then bring it in and reassess it. So I'll argue that that's pretty bad. We're out almost a couple of minutes in the front. It's pretty bad. Caster is a disaster. This is it's pretty bad. Okay, yeah, that's definitely gonna drive the way it wants to. Can I get a 1.5 degrees out of this thing? We will see.
All bad.
Some of it is not as bad as it looks. Some of it is actually, we'll just say it's bad. But some of this is not as bad as it looks. We're gonna start in the rear. And we're gonna start with that camber and see what we can do first. Always adjust your camber first.
What's that?
Take this off. We'll get a couple more tools to take this off. Oh, it's underneath the carbon fiber. Marvelous. We'll do the camber adjustment and then we'll do the toe. And as far as the caster is concerned, I will go up top and see where the struts mounts at and see if I can actually make an aft adjustment. Then I think what we want to do is drive the vehicle. Tuck some stuff up, drive the vehicle, and bring it back in, see what that change made, because that's about as close as we're going to get right there. I got to take this shield off and a couple other things to get to the rest of the bolts.
Well, it looks like the back came in pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm just trying to get it close enough to be drivable and then expect that the suspension settling is going to help with the secondary alignment.
Guys, Melissa and I have a thank you for you for working at Aston Martin.
Oh yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'll get out of the way.
30 chords on it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good job, guys. You guys are rocking.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, good sir. Good sir.
Oh, good sir.
Good sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Do you have any Great Poupon?
Actually, I was hoping you had some Viennetta. Oh, you ain't ready for that. I think I just aged myself.
And they are not nearly as expensive as they look. So,
Thank God.
so don't try and flex on someone wearing a Rolex.
Totally gonna flex on this.
I got the flag cover to pick it up.
Totally going to. I'm gonna step out of the van.
Step out of the key.
Reservations for 2. Are you second? Welcome to Red Robin. Two.
Oh, right, this box right there.
Wait, are you? Slides out. Everything should be out. Just want to make the slides out. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Alright. The caster first, then with the camera, and then with the utility. The back was actually terrible. The camber on this side is no good and the caster is no good. But what I want to do is see if I can get any kind of caster adjustment out of this. And if I can, which I don't know if I will, it's about as close as it's going to get before a test drive.
Okay. So once you do that, you're gonna go into the runnability?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fire it up and check on a drivability issue that we had after we got the fuel system situated. We had some check engine lights, so we just kind of want to see what the data looks like, run it, see if it's been addressed. A little low here. This vehicle has a dry sump lubrication system, which is just a fancy race setup where the engine gets to sit lower and the motor gets to kind of control the oil flow and the source better, and it gives better balance. So there's a tank that stores the majority of the oil, but then there's still oil in the different stages of the pump in the actual very short sump. It's not really like an oil pan. It's a little bit low because we changed it, so I'm gonna go find out how much was added and before I do any starting. The only problem with these systems is that issues with the systems, characteristics is, you have to run the vehicle, get it warm. Essentially, it'd be best to drive it, then let the vehicle sit about 10 minutes. Then you can kind of come back and reassess the oil level. It has to kind of move through the system. And so I know that they've already changed the oil, and the car's been sitting. So that's why I feel confident that I could just add what I did to bring it up on the stick for the sump, or for the canister, and then should be safe to run it.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't expecting that to happen. All right, let's go see what's going on there. I'm not sure. The scanner shows no fuel pressure. All the cranking I've done, these plugs are bone dry, and while they're dirty, they're definitely not foul. And the gauge says yellow with the light on, so I don't know. I'm not prepared to say that, but at least with what I have, I can at least test that.
I can.
Woo!
Oh.
Yeah, so I sprayed some starter fluid in it, and that's what just happened. So I think maybe we get some gas. I don't want to rip anything off. You know, some of this stuff is going to end up being like an ambient air temperature sensor, a couple of bulbs, things like that. Nothing that's going to cause an issue driving, but until we get all those things in, I don't want it to get scratched or ripped out while you're driving.
Good underwater, Seaport gas all over the car.
I like that. Does it have a hole in it? Like I couldn't even get it up.
Yeah, this isn't on right.
Okay, yeah, I got it about here and then it just started gushing out before I even touched it. I was like, okay, well, it wasn't expected.
This still leaking?
It's got a hole in it or something. That's what happened. I went to tip it and it just like dripped all over.
Let's take the cap off it and just pour it all in. Woo! Something starting fluid maybe? Are you still showing no fuel at the rail?
Yeah, so if I'm showing no fuel at the rail and I got gas and I add starting fluid and it starts, I'm just going to double check physically that I got no pressure, and if that's the case, then we either have a signal issue with the pump or a pump issue.
Ah! Why are you always trying to be the bearer of bad news?
I'm not the bearer of bad news. See if we got some fuel pressure here. Okay, yeah, we got no fuel pressure at the rail. So to have had fuel pressure, we either got an electrical issue going on at the pump, it's not getting a signal, or the pump is no good. Just key on turn. Yeah, you can crank it, but like that's pretty much all I need to see right there.
Yeah, power to the pump.
Yeah, I got enough power to the pump to give me some kind of pressure. Now it could be some sort of blockage in the lines because of what we had to do with the lines. I don't.
No, we know there's not a blockage.
I think it's going to be grab something here.
Well,
maybe it's like a generic pump. Like we pull it out, maybe we can find one to match it up with. I mean, because
Ford part number or something.
Yeah, probably. I
Well,
mean, like, if it's just the pump and the level gauge seems fine, so I don't know if you need a whole assembly. If you just need a pump, then maybe.
I was just looking at Scuderia, and you got to buy the whole assembly. It's about $800, but
Yeah, we might be able to find, like, if we get it out and look at it, we could probably find something that, like, you know, I mean, because the reality is that whatever it's made by, it's going to have some kind of correlation to Ford. So, I mean, it could be a Mustang pump for all we know.
yeah.
Just sitting inside a different housing for this tank, but really it's a Mustang pump.
Okay. Well, I don't like it, but I refuse to be defeated, so I guess we'll work on that.
I thought we were going to drive it today, actually, honestly.
Well, I didn't bring my green shoes.
Oh, okay.
You know, the problem is I gave you guys the watches too soon. I should have given it to you after I drove, but I was confident we were going to drive it too. But we're close. We're really close. What's more money, right, at this point? Oh. Well, thanks for sticking with us and watching this painful process. We got the alignment done. We just got to get a fuel pump in it and drive it. Stick around for the next video. Antonio?
Don't forget to subscribe, donate,
and sponsor us.
Like and share.
Like and share, you know, all the fun.
We don't want to have to start an OnlyFans. You guys don't want to see that. We got to make this a success.
Yeah, I don't got that cute toes, man.